Hello everyone, my name is Toa, this is Let's Play Civilization 5 as the Maya. Let me apologize in advance. This session, which is 7, the next one 8, and the one after that 9, or about half of it, I didn't record my mic somehow. And the result is I have to do this post-commentary, actually the next day. So, and to give you an idea, this is 196. The session 9 ended in 261, so it's a lot of work. We were just looking right there at the demographic screen. William is in the lead of everything except for, I believe, land, approval, and soldiers. I lead land, and we don't know who leads soldiers. He's got a little bit of a score lead on me. Not a lot, but it's clear that this game's not going to be the complete pushover I thought it was going to be at the beginning. Or even just, 15 turns before this current game. I'm shaking my mouse now to apologize. The last couple sessions, I didn't have my mic on. Again, I'm sorry for the lack of professionalism. It is my first Let's Play that I'm recording. So I'm going to do my best to make sure I remember all this stuff. I might start taking a checklist to double check some settings before I start sessions. I want to become friendly with Haran. And so seeing the open borders deal is great. I don't really want him to have open borders because I'm afraid of his religion coming in. I'm still fighting my religious wars with Ethiopia. But I want to be friends with him so I don't have to really worry about the north. He did warn us about the Swedish, which as you can see I kind of built myself up a defensive line. Gonna go hook up those gems. Hopefully trade some more. We're building trade posts everywhere, all of those jungles, because those jungles are so sweet for science. And then we renew this deal. Makes sense. Anything we can do to keep him on our side. We're just waiting. Iran's finally entered the Renaissance. I'm working on getting into the Industrial Era. I believe I only have one tech after economics. The downside to doing post-game commentary is I can't look at things when I'm curious about them. Get another academy up and rolling. While we're still building the National College, just wanted to lock that in. Make sure we're getting the science from that. Notice I only got one scientist working in the university. Should probably fill that. I mean, it's only... it's funny how specialists work. It's only one more science than the jungle, and the jungle provides a culture and 2 more food. But to me, it's actually more about getting the great scientist points up and running. Got the university finished here. We're going to go for... what do we go for? I remember trying to think of what I want this city to do. The truth is, I didn't really notice at this time, the city's got a fair amount of production. It'll get more once the mine's completed on the gems. So I go for the stable, which makes sense. That's what I do here. Because the extra hammer to the horses and the cows, that's 2 hammers. So meanwhile, something else might only add 1 hammer. I believe earlier we were looking at Tikal building a stable there. It would only add 1 hammer, which isn't great. Getting 2 hammers over there is good. Helps make up that investment. So now I'm wondering, has Persia met the Netherlands? Yes, they have. So have I. I have no culture. The Netherlands and Ethiopia are both leading in that, but not by enough. Those aren't significant numbers. At this point in the game, that's probably neither one of them are going to pull off a culture victory unless something ridiculous happens. We get the gems, start hooking them up. We're always worried about when the Swedish are finally going to attack us. Iran gets Machu Picchu. I like that wonder, especially in wide empires. I've got so many city connections, it makes sense. But I just couldn't find a time to really spare the hammers for that. I do like the wonder, though. It's, when you've got, I have 6 cities all connected by road. A lot of money you can generate off of that. So, the Netherlands has discovered everyone. We find out that the other 2 players are Japan, who we get an embassy with, because I like to know where they're at, and the Huns. Same thing, I like to get an embassy. Unfortunately, neither one of them had a resource to trade. Japan had gold, but as we're going to discover fairly shortly, they got rid of it before I managed to get an open resource. I should have just given away a resource in an attempt to earn it. So it's the Huns that are leading. I'm in 7th. victory progress. I just wanted to check how many players there were, but that makes sense. I always miscount myself. I only see 7, and I'm like, well, where's the 8th? Of course, I am the 8th. So we're going to try and construct the Taj Mahal. I'm going back and forth. When more military units help out, that's such a good wonder, though, since I have chicken pizza, as I keep calling chicken pizza, and I'm sure I'm mispronouncing it anyway. The +4 happiness is fun, again, because I need it for this big empire, but the golden age, the free golden age, is great. Because it's 50% longer. Chichen Itza, whatever. I'm contemplating what I want to propose. Do I want to piss people off? Which is what I'm thinking here. Or do the easy thing. World's fair. Silver and bronze, which you are guaranteed to get just as long as you put in the requisite hammers, are good for me. And if I can get the top one and all that extra culture, I kind of spitballing here, I'm not sure, but it's like an extra social policy, right? It's really, and the biggest thing is if I get it, my opponents don't get it. Which is good, because I don't want them to have a whole bunch extra. Ooh, so now we see all these troops moving, and he's telling me, launch a sneak attack. Well, thank you. But it's fairly obvious what is happening here. And yes, we still want to be friends with you. So now I'm like, oh, God, what do I do? And you can see Tikal is still producing the Sistine Chapel, which has got sort of the same issue. A bunch of, I mean, that's not a crazy number of turns. It's acceptable, but not if I'm about to go to war. I check here because I always forget. Can I tell him to move his troops away? The same thing AI can tell you? No, don't have that option, which is a shame. I want to see if he will be friends with me, and he still won't. Even though we're friendly, and we've had such good deals for so long, is he still holding that burnt city against me? So I pick up a defensive pact with Persia. Makes sense, right? Despite the fact that they're so far away, there's no roads leading between us. That's what I want from him. Oh yeah, I just wanted to check if there was any way, but he won't accept it, so... Well, I'm just gonna have to take the blows. And every time these turns go by, Sweden seems to have more troops. Haran finally gives me the declaration of friendship I've been looking for. Of course, everyone loves World's Fair. The special projects, you can almost always... They're not going to piss off anyone, and then most civilizations will even like you for it. So, we sit here. One of my cities converted. Medina switched back. God, dealing with all this religious strife that I'm having with Ethiopia is pissing me off. But I can't go to war with them because I've got to deal with the Swedish now. And I've been putting all these hammers into developing the infrastructure of each of these cities. And there it is. Well, we're not that surprised. Luckily, we don't immediately lose a unit, which is always danger when you're not the one that gets to start the war. The way I figure this is, he's probably not actually going to do anything, and what could he? And I get an extra gold from it. Research agreement, awesome. I've got porcelain tower, I need to make more use of those. As said, everyone's happy from the project. So I decide not to change the wonders. I figure give me a couple of turns. Let's just see how this is going. If I need to, I could switch out of the wonders. I looked up there to see about picking up the iron, but I don't even have steel. So I can't pick up longswordsmen. And pikemen are better than swordsmen, so I might as well not waste the money and the time trying to get the iron on. Over here, I'm contemplating the best way to... Yep. Yeah, more hammers, because the city's being fed with a carrot. So I know that when the caravans disappear, the city's going to start starving. But I really want the extra hammers. So I decide for now that the slightly slower growth is okay, especially, and then the city won't starve in a turn. 24 turns to Taj Mahal. Then we're just thinking about what we could do. I don't want to change from National College. I opened up the city, but then I realized, no, that's not what I want to do. But we're looking around, and I don't recall for what. I apologize. Oh, I keep mentioning, I wish the city was founded one tile over. In hindsight, I should have burned down the city and built my own if I really wanted it up there. It doesn't serve me much purpose. It would have picked up cotton, so it would have been an extra luxury resource if I had burned it down and built my own, but at that time, I didn't really have the ability. I was founded 2 cities right after that, so I wouldn't have built a third anyways. And somebody else probably would have beaten me to the spot, so hopefully at some point the culture will just pick up the cotton. But I was trying to decide what to do with this caravan. It's funny, in hindsight, I didn't feel like I spent this much time. I thought once the war started, all I did was fight a war. It's always how it feels like. So extra hammers, which is great, knocks off 4 turns. I've said it before, I don't believe I use enough caravans for internal trade routes and stuff. Those internal trade routes are pretty awesome. So we take out a pikeman, which is really all we got. We use 2 crossbowmen and, what do you call it? Trebuchet. Do it. I love range units since you don't have to risk your own. I want to move up the knight so he's in striking position. I mean, the guy's got tons of pikemen, so best the knight's just running down something. Trying to finish it off. And we click. So, still haven't lost a unit to him, which is great. I forgot what it was. Oh, I was looking to see how much damage was dealt. So we want to hit the bowman, but it won't happen because of the lost space from next to the pikeman. The pikeman's zone of control. We're just going to have to do it the hard way. I realize how badly that placement was. What I should have done is that pikeman on the right, I should have moved him up into the clearing, and then I would have lost the defensive bonus, which is why I didn't do it. But then I could have had the crossbowman up on the hill, which would have allowed that crossbowman to target the pikeman or the crossbow or the Swedish crossbowman. Decide what to do with the trade route. Now we know it's the city's starving. So we put it back on over there. It's only the loss of a hammer. Now the city's not growing at all, but prices have to be paid, you know. Flipping through a bunch of screens. Don't quite recall what exactly it was I was looking for. It's always funny how that works out. I want to see... Oh, I was checking to see which cities had workshops so that I knew where, if I could transfer hammers to Harar. Because I wanted to get more hammers in Harar, but I couldn't. Because the only cities with workshops were Harar and Tikal, and I already got it Tikal to Harar, and you can't do 2 from the same destination. But now I moved that guy there, which I could have put him there, and still put the crossbowman on the hill behind him. That would have made more sense. But hindsight's always 20/20. So I finally lose my unit. The combination of all his crossbowmen. He's got his own great general, so I am worried about that. I see the Dutch bring in a great musician. They want to get some tourism on me, but like I said, they don't exactly have a bunch of tourism, so what are they? Kind of a waste. You want to save those for when you actually can get a good boost out of them. I get another great profit because I forgot to spend my points, and I'm not in the industrial area yet, so they do auto-buy great profits. I'm looking at this. Yeah, I still want... You can't use all your trade routes for money unless you happen to be pulling a bunch of money in from your cities. Brave New World rebalanced how it did... how money was generated, or how much maintenance cost on stuff, with the idea that you're now going to make more money because of the trade route. So you can't just not use trade routes to make money. unless you happen to be producing a bunch in your cities, more than would be usual. As we saw down there, I managed to wipe out an entire unit, which is always the goal. You want to knock out units. So I'm looking what to do with this great profit. I'm trying to see if anyone else wants Mayanism. And the two that do, I just don't have any relations to start with. So giving them Mayanism, at best, is just going to make me friends. I'm not going to pick up any allies out of it. So the decision, spread the religion around. I do think about using the Holy City, but the truth is it's not in that much danger. I almost built a holy site, which would have been terrible. Because I'm going for science. The jungles are great. So we use the Great Prophet, which is always awesome. Get all of the city back to being Mayanists. Try to decide what to do with him. I pull him back. I think I'm looking at the wonders now. And I'm trying to contemplate, what do we do with them? Do we switch out of the wonders? I've got enough hammers invested into them that it would actually be kind of wasteful. But then I decide, you know what? We just want to make sure we don't lose, because that would be the worst thing. Not losing the wonders. Losing the war. We're going to produce a pikeman out of each. We'll return to the wonders once the pikemen are complete. So he moves around a little, and all he does is damage my pikemen. William uses his great musician. So we're still working on all these units. First, again, once more, this is the episode of apologies. I just realized my fan was still on. I'm sure you guys could hear that when I spoke. Hopefully it sounds a bit better now. All stuff I'm going to have to make sure I get in order. It's unprofessional. It's amateurish, which is not the goal here. I want to create a quality Let's Play channel. So now we're looking, trying to decide what to do. We need to heal them up because there's just pikemen everywhere. Damage that. Can't kill it without risking something. But we've made it combat ineffective. Trying to decide what we want to build over here. Probably about time. What we want to do with the city is produce scientists. It's got the food. This is going to be a specialist city. So we're going to build a garden and a national epic there eventually. But we're going to start with the garden because it's quicker. And it provides the same effect, just minus the extra culture. We don't need the tourism grade slot, so no real point. I noticed that worker is useless. But I decided against buying a jungle right now because I feel I might need the money for the war effort. Though really, I should have looked at how much units cost and realized that I wasn't really going to be buying a lot of units. Probably would have been better off just picking up the jungle early. Notice the National College is going to be finished. It's great. We're going to get public schools going soon. Same technology adds more science to our academies. Keep that deal going with Persia, because we look here and we see nobody has luxury resources they want to trade with me. How is that possible? I don't have that many that many luxury resources, and yet there's none that anyone wants to trade to me. Makes no sense. So now we're trying to decide where to send the Great Prophet because we want to knock out all our cities, but we also want to get Singapore. It looks safe right now. It doesn't really look like Sweden's going to be pouring through Singapore's territory. We noticed that crossbowman's useless where he's at. I move it there, and then immediately notice, oh, he's committed a beach landing against me. Well, the last place I want to move the crossbowmen is next to the damn pikemen. So now we're just getting our shots around. We choose the crossbowmen because I hate the ranged units. Melee units are going to hurt themselves when they attack, but ranged units can keep fighting with impunity, so you need to do damage to them to keep the pressure from them off of you. So we decide here to build, I can't recall. Walls? Because we want to get the walls to make the city harder to take in case that front falls. War's looking pretty good for us, but I mean, we don't know how many more units he has, and if he really wanted to break us, all he'd have to do is focus on one unit at a time. Just lucky that the AI doesn't do that. We do want the capital city, Palenque, I don't know what exactly it is, but we want it to grow. We were looking at that. There's so much jungle there, we need more people, so we're going to build an aqueduct to speed up the process of growing. Don't know what we're looking at in the diplomatic screen. Nor do I know what I'm waiting for. So we're trying to see, or we turned down the deal for the gems because we wanted to see if we could sell them to somebody else for a resource. So now we're picking them back up. Pretty sure all that staring around was, I was remembering, I was going to do something. Luckily our crossbowman doesn't get hit by the Swedish beach invaders, but we do lose a pikeman finally. Up on that hill. You notice down by Singapore, they're doing work, they're taking out units. Wine to Darius ends, which just probably means that he finally got his hooked up. And he did. Well, like I said, we were just trying to take advantage of that while we could. And we took advantage of it for a very long time. Always go with the ones in rough terrain, because in my mind, rough terrain, they're already getting defensive bonus. You want to do everything you can to actually hurt them in it. And again, even though there's a freaking unit right there threatening me, I know that what I need to do is take out the unit that I can before it gets a heal bonus or something. A healing promotion, so we don't want to worry about that. He can't do anything now, so we're going to move him up. Dangerous. Now it opens him to attacks. But there's no enemy unit nearby, and as far as we know, Sweden doesn't even have cavalry. Obviously, we can see they have horses. I notice, oh, he wants to make peace. And he'll just give me gold and resources for it. Okay. That's fine with me. I like free stuff. So we realize we don't need this stuff anymore. Let's switch back to the wonders. And we just want to lock it. I like to lock in my workers when I can. Just to make sure they don't do something weird. You never know with the AI. And we decide we want the extra hammers. Nope, nope, yeah. We decide we want the extra hammer since we're working on the wonder. We are going to let Harar finish its pikemen, because it's only one turn away. Lost a pikeman? Might as well get it back. Of course we'll take research agreements. I mean, you're really behind, so it's not that great. But it's also only going to cost me gold, and I have Porcelain Tower, which helps make up for it a little. Become a friend with the Netherlands? You know what, William? Sure, let's be friends. I mean, I know you're really my only competitor, but let's just be friends. Since I don't plan on doing this militarily, I don't really need to not keep you happy. I'll keep you happy for as long as possible. We just try to see if we could squeeze any more gold out of Ethiopia for some resource. And so we look at this and we realize, okay, by score, it's really just me and William. And he's starting to get a score lead. He was only at, what, 85 at the start of this session? Now he's taking off a little. So we decide we're going to probably work in the jungle more with that worker. Gotta get these units over. One was gifted, I believe, right? No, so we're just gonna fortify them. We did get one gifted. I'm gonna put him on a road just so he can respond quicker. You know, next time something happens. Just gonna fortify everything up. Get back to Taj Mahal. I mean, I'm really afraid. Have I lost him at this point? Because they waited so... I mean, there's still a lot of turns left on them. He wants 7 gold. I just wondered, would you give me 8? Because I know she'll give me 7 and 8. I kind of did my research after this. I realized that 7 and 8 is the standard price. AI will pay. Apparently, the AI will pay 240 as a lump sum when you can only get lump sums if you're friends. Which we are. But I didn't realize at the time 240 is the most. 7 per turn, and if it only lasts for 30 turns is 210 plus the 8, it's only 218. But, yeah. None of this I'm certain about. I had looked into standard prices, diplomatic prices before. So we're going to get Inquisitor because we're going to go bust up Uxmal. Get all that heresy out of there. We're also checking Medina. We're like, yeah, pressure's not high. Surprisingly, Harar is still my religion. It's not the way it's worked in the past. Ethiopia is usually pretty good about busting up my religion. Now we're going to send him up there, take care of Medina. We'll have an Inquisitor take care of Uxmal. Oh, I sent him here because I just wanted to check, just double check again that you can't build trade posts on bananas in jungles. You can't. So I decided to go, since the war is now over, I'm not too worried about my money. I'm going to buy the jungle so I can make use of that guy. Let me go put a trade post on it. Remove heresy. So now, at this time, Medina is the only one of my cities that isn't dominated by my religion. As you can see. But it's gonna be. That's a great profit gets over there. So now Persia is friends with Arabia, so we've got ourselves a nice little alliance going on. And Persia is friends with the Dutch, so now there's 4 of us. It's gonna be us versus the Swedes, Ethiopians, Japanese, and the Huns. Huns don't have a fun way to say their name. Welcome to the industrial era. I get another spy. I decide, you know what? I know I'm friends with the Dutch. That just means you can steal 1 tech from them. Right? That's the plan. We'll try and steal 1, then we won't have to worry about anything. So we notice, we should probably pick up these techs. I'm in the industrial era, and I still have a classical tech I haven't researched. Also, astronomy comes with observatory. So we do have a city next to a mountain. We might as well get that. Then we're going to pick up industrialization so we can get those factories for ideology. You need 3 factories to learn your first ideology, or to earn into ideology. And then after that, the next science tech is plastic. Rethink about it. Because I might have to defend, I want cannons. So we're going to backtrack on science tech, or, you know, astronomy, the naval techs. Then we're going to pick up factories from industrialization. And then we're going to go for cannons, and then we'll go for science. We're just hoping we actually have coal. We don't have a lot of strategic resources. We're set on horses, of course, but truth is, horses aren't a great strategic resource. I take that back. Because of horses, you can build a circus, which is free happiness, which is pretty good. But I don't build a lot of horse units because everybody builds spearmen and pikemen. So what's the point? You could just use them as backups, speedy backups. So it's time to start getting the public schools up. Just like we got the temples up, and then the libraries up, the universities. Now we're going for public schools. Everyone's going to have a public school at some point. And we're just looking around. We're noticing that, hey, I still am firmly in control of those cities. Is Ethiopia giving up? Have they run out of faith? It's possible, because once you advance a new era, so everything starts costing more faith. It might be they just actually have run out of faith. Get compass. We got optics and compass in a turn. That's all wasted. Wasted hammers. Not hammers, beakers. Science. So we're going to lock down some units. It's always great to earn extra money from tiles I would have worked otherwise. 2 food, 2 science, and a culture isn't bad. We do want the extra production, though. Or we don't. Or we do. But we don't. Yeah, we just have a stick of gross. Whatever. 22 turns until public school. Whenever we get it, we get it. Still hoping on those 2 wonders. Does it happen? Sweden founds the last religion. It is... Well, it's 1114... Whatever it says. 1915-6. So whatever that is in Maya years. But it's earned 214. The last religion's found, and I'm just wondering what he got. How much more money can I fleece out of you? No. No 6. No 5. You'll take it. Okay. Extra gold. Might as well. So his pantheon he already had. He gets +1 culture for every 5 of this religion and other civilizations. And +2 hammers if city has a specialist. A specialist, not per specialist. Because per specialist would be ridiculous. If it has 1 specialist, it's just merely okay. You're not going to want specialists in every city. So the benefit's kind of... But it doesn't rely on things like the city's population size. As long as you have a specialist and that city is the main, or that religion's the main religion, we will get that benefit. Opened up ourselves another trade route, so we're going to build another cargo ship. And Williams completed the Taj Mahal. 12 turns earlier than me. I could not have beaten him to it. Unless I, whatever I had built before the Taj Mahal, not the pikemen. Even if you had canceled the pikemen, I would have had to cancel whatever was before the Taj Mahal. Like 340 gold. That sucks. Let's see Williams flying against Attila. That's fine with me. He's building the Sistine Chapel in 2 turns. And I'm like, oh, come on. I lost both wonders I was working for to William. Oh, that hurts. So I'm trying to decide how much science does the city produce. Is a university better? Or is an observatory better? And honestly, it's gotta be the university, right? No, I just chose the wrong one. I'm pretty sure the university's better. So, here we're going. Now, all my cities are dominated by my religion for the first time since the last Great Prophet. Luckily, I don't have to worry about any more random spawning Great Prophets. Not what they do. I was just checking out those icons because I forgot what Persia's units look like. I really like the way this game does its icons. Every civilization gets 2 colors. It's a nice look. Sweden stole astronomy. Literally a tech that took me 2 turns to research. You know what, Sweden? Go for it. But yeah, if you click that, I can tell him to go away. And he says he won't spy on me anymore. So we'll see if that actually happens. Can we notice? Oh no. Sweden has musketmen. Luckily, I mean, industrialization does open up Gatling guns, which are great defensive units. But, still. If we find ourselves at war again with Sweden, it's going to be it's going to be more difficult since we're no longer going to be on a unit strength parity. We're going to need to get Gatling guns in order to in order to just maintain our advantage. So just making sure, working, I'm improving tiles that I'm working. We decided to take off the extra, sorry, the engineer, because now we're no longer constructing a wonder. We don't really care about the hammers. We're going for science. Or I should have put him in the jungle, but I didn't.
Ik geloof dat ik iets heb wat u enig belang zal inboezemen.
I'm thinking about this because it's costing me extra, and that's probably because even though he still has a tech lead on me, I believe I'm the first in the industrial era. And so since I'm leading, he's like, well, you need more. You're gonna have to pay me for it. And I'm okay with that. Because even though it's helping the guy who's in the lead, who's taking a 160 point lead, he's doubled almost his lead from when the session started. I know I'm going well in science, and I feel pretty safe. So I might as well use everything to my advantage that I can. So, just trying to earn some extra money.